Hi, Tiffany here, and it's So Sunday, part 2 on the 7th of April, and I am live well, it's because I'm an Insomniac, and so are some of you, so I'm here to work on more of my hexagon from earlier, and now I'm on the next step, so I'm going to cut some fabric. I found some more red. Only I know that this red is not the same red that I found, but I'm going to make it the same red. And yeah, so I'm going to get to working on this. And whoever's on can just join me while I'm working on this. So for now, I'm going to start cutting my next steps. Again, for those of you who are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere down here on this side. I have to re-look again which way and which hand I'm supposed to use to know which side it's on. And don't forget to like my videos. And yeah, hit the bell when you hit the subscribe button, a bell will pop up. When you hit that bell, you get notifications when I'm live, which is like right now in the middle of the night. Well, it's not the middle of the night. It's only turning 11 p.m. here in Arizona. So, okay, I'm going to get to it and I'll tell you what everything is. So far, oops, let's get that to stay where I had it originally. I have a Hexi that was cut with a hexagon cutter, the only one I have, and obviously kind of you can tell the angle of it against right here. It is a hexagon along with, see right here you can see it better, with a equilateral triangle on the bottom. And I use the Hexi on 10-inch blocks, I think, to cut these hexagons. And then I made my own measurement so that I can make sure that I have enough room on the sides here. As you can see, I wanted to have more than a 1/4 inch so that I do not lose my points. And that was a 6.5 inch width by, I cut 6.5 inch strips, and then I subcut them into 4-inch pieces. And then I cut them on the diagonal to create this. And then earlier's video, when I sewed them on, I made them hang over quite a bit purposely so you could see my hangover right here. It's quite a bit of a hangover. See that? I did that on purpose. A lot of it will get trimmed away, so it's not really going to matter. That's why I never trimmed any of it. But I'm going to start with the next part. So my idea here is floating hexagons. Hi, Vicki. Obviously, night owl time, right? So my idea here is to make floating hexagons. And I don't want them to just look like they're coming out of the red. I want them to adjust position. So the idea here is to do strips that are 2 different sizes for each side of the block, which is going to make the block only be able to be put one way down, but that one way can be flipped one way or the other, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to get to cutting. Right now the block is, let's see how big it is right now at this very moment. It is 8.5 inches by, I'm going to say roughly on this next part, by 10.5-ish inches. And what I'm going to do is make a bunch of strips, and then I'm going to chain piece all these blocks onto the strips. So I'm going to start by, because I have 8 piles of 7 blocks, of 7 different style blocks, which gives me a layer cake, obviously. And then I'm going to just chain piece them on, and I'll show you how I do it. And I'm going to just go my speed since it's the middle of the night, and you can just watch how I work when I'm not chit-chatting as much because there's not very many people on. Obviously, Vicky's here with me. So I'm going to move my mouse out of the way, and I'll just put it right here on the edge. And I'm going to cut myself some 1.5 inch strips, and then I'm also going to cut 2.5 inch strips. So I'm going to start by cutting, I have 2 layers of fabric here, so 2 different layers, and as you can see in the camera, you can tell they are 2 different colors. But I'm going to try to, that's why I'm cutting them both the same sizes so that it doesn't matter which one ends up on which block. But the off color of these should rotate through the whole quilt, and it shouldn't be too noticeable. Hopefully they're like, it's a minuscule of an amount of color difference here, but I see it, but you're not going to see it from far away, so I don't care. So I'm going to cut 8 1.5 inch strips to start with. I might need more, but I'm pretty sure 8 should do it for now. So I'm going to cut 8 1.5-inch strips, and I'm double layered, so I only technically need 4 cuts. My ruler is orange, so like I said earlier in the earlier video, that it's kind of hard to see the lines on here on the red. And I didn't have much of the other red. I only had just like literally like 4 inches more than I had of this one. I don't even think that's 4 inches. It's a pretty small amount. There's 2 fabrics here and it ends right here, so it's probably like 2.5 inches, honestly. So here's my 8 1.5-inch strips, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut 8 2.5-inch strips. So I'm going to carefully slide this over and cut 8 2.5-inch strips. 1, 2.5. Wow, this ruler looks weird at 2.5. Looks a lot bigger than my other one. So there's 2. So I'm only making 4 cuts. 1, 2. Three. And number 4. So there's 8 of each, and if I need more, I will cut more. But for now, I'm just going to lay them right here because I'm starting with the 1.5-inch ones. I'm going to slide all that out of my way because I don't need it. I do recommend when you're quilting to stay hydrated, because it's very important to stay hydrated. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 1 strip, and I'm going to lay it right sides up with solids. It's actually hard to tell what's right side and what's wrong. Actually, I'll lay this one right sides up, and we're going to stick this one on top. So I'm going to put this right sides together. I know when it's right side, because see the bend in the fabric from where the fold is? That's how I know that's the top of the fabric. So usually if I have to put it on top, that's how I do it. So I'm going to lay this on here. I'm going to hang the selvage over the end because I'm not going to need that, but I'm not going to cut it off right now. And I'm going to sew 1/4 inch down this and just watch how this works. Right down this side. And right when I get close to the end, I'm going to take my next piece. I'm going to butt it up right here, pretty much on top of each other. It's kind of hard because they have ends sticking out, but I'm going to lay it right here, and I'm going to go right on to the next one. And I think I'm going to put a light blocker inside the machine so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. You guys know how I do that. So today we're going to have yellow light. Aha, see, now you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to take all these 1/4 inch all the way down and just keep adding strips. I should be able to get 4 per, because they're 10.5, so I should be able to get 4 per strip. Come close to it, grab another one. This is definitely the most easiest way to chain piece strips when you're building onto blocks. And obviously when I sew super fast, my machine likes to wiggle and squirm around. It happens. So I'm just going to keep laying them on here. Like I said, I'm starting with 8. I'll probably need more. Never know. So I'm going to come down to the end of this strip, and I'll just veer off of it, grab my next one, grab my next strip, and attach 4 more pieces to this one, hanging the selvage end off the end of the block and sewing my 1/4 inch all the way down. This should be the fastest way, though, to chain piece lots and lots of blocks when you're adding strips around them. Come really close to the end, keeping that strip on the top. Add the next piece as close as you can get it. Doesn't have to be too close because it's all going to get trimmed. And I ran out of bobbin already. That was quick. It's a good thing I pre-roll. Of course, I only have 2 bobbins left of white, so I'll have to pre-roll a ton more the further I get. I can usually bind a queen-size quilt, going around the binding to put it on, and then tacking the front side of the binding down with 1 bobbin's worth of thread. So that's a good thing. I don't have to roll as many bobbins. So I'm going to come back up about 1 inch beyond where it ended and ran out of thread. And just don't even worry about back tacking because it's now enclosed. That seam is not coming apart. Grab another piece, slide it under. And that's, like I said, there's 4 pieces now per strip. And I only started out with 8 because I didn't know how much fabric I'm going to have. So I'm going to try to make sure that I have enough. I'm going to veer right off of that. Grab another one. Grab another strip. Right sides together. Make sure that my selvage is hanging off. Again, I'm adding 1.5 inch strip. And they're rotating these 2 different red colors as well. Like I said, you guys probably can't notice, but maybe you can. When up close, I definitely can notice. I can tell that this is the different red color. It's not exactly the same. But I'm blending it through, so hopefully it won't be noticeable. It's for myself, so it's not going to matter. I could say, though, you know, for those of you who have to, say that you ran out of the color that you're using and you have to get another color. You have to get more of that color, but they're out and you can't find that color anywhere, not even online. The best thing to do is find the closest, absolute closest color to that color. That would be the best way to go. So if you run out of a color, match it up or change your design up a little bit and change, somehow work in a different color if you run out. I really don't care. Like I said, this is just a house quilt, so it's not going to matter at all. So what are you doing, Vicky? I'm not talking much. I knew that there wasn't going to be many people on when I get on late, but I said I'd either come back tomorrow or tonight, so everybody can watch tonight's video tomorrow, and tomorrow I can go get my nails done and not have to rush anything. This chain piecing pretty much goes really quick, so, which is a good thing. I like working fast. I'm a fast-paced quilter. I get as much done while I can, when I can. My life is fast-paced as well, so. But then I have days where it's slow. Again, I'm just butting them up. Oh, just watching me, huh? It's pretty late there, isn't it? I watched a movie with Scott and had a smoke and came back in and said, well, let's go back live because I didn't want to sit any longer. I just needed to get up and do some stuff. So I figured I'd just do this. The sooner I get it done, the faster I can get it quilted along with the rest of all the quilts that need to be done. Plus, I don't even know how I want to quilt it. Once I see it in full, then I'll know. Then whatever it is will come to me. Oh, that's not bad. That was like average time for me. This whole machine is just wiggling itself, even with my little thingamabobbers. The anti-slip mat. Trying to do surgery on my table. Get it placed in. Again, I'm just butting these pieces up. It's not going to matter because they get trimmed apart and the whole block is going to get trimmed anyway. Yeah, there's no way. I'm going to have to cut a lot more strips. Probably going to have more pieces that are 1.5 inches than 2.5 inches because I didn't think anything of it because I didn't have notes with this project and I decided to wing it. Wing it with what I got. Who else do we got in here? It says 2. Yeah, some of them so far, Vicky. I haven't gotten to the last 2 that you sent. I turn them on in here or in my room when I'm in here, especially. Don't have to be shy, whoever else is in here, because there's no one really here tonight to bombard with talking. Nighttime is always the best one. Hi, Linda. You're up late as well. Everyone is an insomniac at one point in their life. Obviously, I'm not talking as much besides explaining what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But it's nice to know who's here, who's hanging out, who's in my room with me. everybody is once in their life an insomniac. I don't care what anyone says. You know, somebody gets so insomnia could be several different things. You could be excited about something, so you can't sleep because you're so excited. You're suffering from insomnia. But it's more characterized if it happens more than 5 times a week, you know, for 5 weeks. Then it's considered severe, like mine. Mine is severe because I stay up days and days and days at a time. And it's not my fault, it just happens. I don't know how to control my awakeness. There's no medicine to put me to sleep either. I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to get 4 more strips, because I'm looking over here at the fabric while I'm sewing going, oh, I'm on my 2.5s now, and I still have half this pile to go. So what I'm going to have to do is cut some more 1.5s. I'll cut, let's see, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 strip. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 6 more strips at the 1.5 inches. So I'm going to probably have to change my numbers to making these 1 1/4 if I chop them in half, because I don't think I'm going to get that much more strips off of here. So here's going to be 2. There's 3, 4. And 5, 6. So this should cover the last of the blocks. No, it does not. Neither does any other pain, honestly. You want to be honest about it. No pain allows me to sleep properly. When I do sleep, I only sleep a little bit at a time. I either have to wake up to pee or something happens. All right, I should be able to finish these 1.5. I'm probably going to have to change this down because there's no way I'm going to get 6 more cuts of 2.5 inches off of that, what I have. So I might have to chop those 8 pieces in half and do 1 1/4 when they're in half. But we'll see. I don't think there's enough though. I mean, 1/4 of an inch might make a big difference when I'm situating the blocks, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I want them to stagger each other, so we'll see how that happens. Did my intestines? Yeah, it caused all sorts of things. Lots and lots of strange pains. The only thing that I've noticed a main difference so far since the surgery is my bladder actually empties in full. So everything that was on my bladder or stuck around my bladder, putting so much pressure on it, has it's slow. Okay, it hasn't slowed down the urgency and the need to go often. That's an MS thing. It's made it to where I can at least empty in full. Like, so when I go to the bathroom, it's 100% relief instead of feeling like I still have to pee, which is thankfully really good, but that's the only major difference I've noticed. I'm still having issues with the eating and strange pains and pressure that pushes against my back and my kidneys, especially. It really pushes in my kidneys. Hi, Krusty. Sounds weird saying Krusty. Do you have a real first name? I probably won't remember right away, but it'll be a while before I catch on and remember it. Sounds weird saying that. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you don't want anybody to know, that's okay. No biggie deal. Lacey. Oh, I can remember that because I have a friend named Lacey who lives here. Well, she did live here. She moved, but she still comes here to visit. It's a pretty name. Well, welcome to Insomniac Hour. As long as I spell it right. Oh, well. Is there another way to spell it? I know there's a different way to spell Tiffany. Some people have done that to me. So they must be from a different area to have spelled it that way. Instead of A-N-Y, which is how mine's spelled, I've heard it spelled T-I-F-F-I-N-E-E or I-N-E. Which is a different region to spell it differently for sure. What time is it where you're at? It's only 11:20 here. I don't go to bed till when I do sleep and I finally fall asleep. It's usually like 5 or 6 a.m. And then I only sleep until sometimes between 9:30 and sometimes 11:30. It just depends on if there's sound that wakes me up. Because I can't always sleep with my earplugs in. It causes too much pressure in my ears, which kind of sucks, but I'll live. But I said earlier I'd be back on. 1:20 there. So you're a couple hours difference. So you're somewhere in the mid states. Obviously, I'm in Arizona here. Always leave out the E. They spell it, which is all the time. Really? Oh, they spell L-A-C-Y, you mean? That sounds weird. You'd think Lucy is spelled that way, L-U-C-Y. That would be weird if you put an E in that one, but Lacey, I don't know. I've only seen it spelled the way yours is spelled with an E. Central, okay. Yeah, I'm an insomniac, so I'm up all the time. And like I said earlier, I was either going to come on tonight or tomorrow. Either way, I was doing the same exact thing. So tomorrow, everyone can watch what I did tonight. I cut my pieces, and I just want to get them on and start getting this together. Chain piecing the rest of this whole thing. Just using the whole strip and putting them on underneath. L-A-C-I. I've never even seen it spelled that way. Wow. There's lots of ways to spell it then, huh? L-A-C-E. My daughter has a friend named JC, which is spelled A-C-E-E in it. I didn't know there were so many ways to spell it. It's like Vicky's name. I know Vicky's name has a couple different ways to spell it. Oh yeah, they definitely are. There's a lot of people I've met, especially daycare that we've gotten, daycare kids over the years that have had some strange names. And it was hard for me to know, like to remember their name because it was so strange, I couldn't remember it. Very, very odd. And then there's the common names that we've had a lot of kids with common names that are easy to remember because somebody went through a phase and watched too many the Vampire Diaries movies, not Vampire Diaries, what is it called? Twilight movies, and they named their kid either Edward or Jacob, you know. That was very popular for quite a few years through the kids that came around. So I'm just chain piecing my 2 different colors on here. They're rotating through the blocks, which is good, so that hopefully the color rotates throughout the whole quilt, and nobody will see the difference if that ever comes around. Again, it's going on the couch, so nobody really will ever see, besides showing you guys. Oh, I have an itch. It's just something I made up, yeah. You still there, Vicki? Where are you at? And Linda? Yeah, it was in a box, and then it just had the hexagons in there and some scraps and some scrap cuts of stuff, but no notes of what I was trying to do. It's from it's from 2015, December of 2015. Normally I have some kind of something to say what I was trying to do with the project, but I'm not sure. I kind of have the feeling that it was for me to finally get over my fear of piecing hexagons, but I'm not sure. And I didn't want to chop them in half like Missouri Star has a hexagon pattern and it's done with them in half. You just cut in half and then you have to put the piece that belongs and matches with it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep them whole. So this was the best way to do it. All right, one more. And I don't know what I'm going to do about needing 6 more strips of 2.5. So I might have to cut the other ones down to 1 1/4. So these will be off-sized blocks. And I won't get the definition I was hoping for, but obviously shit happens. Oops, excuse my language. Stuff happens. Just like earlier, you guys probably didn't notice, but I burnt myself with the iron. Instead of my normal running my finger over through the needle, I burnt myself, which I've done many times. I should have said something, though, so that new beginners don't get discouraged on keeping going if you have accidents and get hurt while quilting. Because it happens. Especially the running my fingers over problem, because I sew so fast. And look at that. I'm so fast that I'm almost done. All right, all these blocks have now been chain pieced. And now I'm going to find my really good scissors, my super sharp ones, and I'm going to sit here and trim them apart. We got, I wanted to know what you ate earlier. I ate pizza bites. You know those little, I don't even know what brand they are. They're just little pizza bite things, and I eat them with ranch dressing. They really, really mess with my stomach. But I tried them the other day. That was really, really bad. And I tried them today, and it did the same thing. So my body's not completely ready for it. So I'm going to have to ease off of some foods. Yeah, that brand. I had to think about it. Yep, that brand. So I'm just going to trim all these apart because I'm just going to go ahead and chain piece the opposite way. But yeah, I love pizza bites. Even though they make my tummy hurt super bad and have made my tummy hurt super bad all these years, I still eat them. I still deal with the stomachache from it all. I'm not even going to bother trimming off the other end because all, the selvage end, because all these blocks are going to get trimmed up when I'm completely done. And since I don't think I'm going to get the measurement that I want from the last of my fabric, I'm going to go ahead and, how many more pieces? I cut 6 more pieces, huh? Let's add the math up on this. See how many inches I need if I want 2.5 inches, and I need 6 more pieces. Calculator. 2.5 times 6. I need 15 inches. There is no way this is 15 inches of fabric right here. 3-piece of stuff probably isn't. No, it's not. Well, I just had surgery on my, I don't know if you caught that in any of my videos. So we got 5.5, so that's 10. What did I say? 13, 14. There's 14 inches here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not going to work. I had a feeling even if I found fabric, it wasn't going to be good enough. I think I'm going to flip this over and just use the rotary cutter because this is going to take me forever. I could have left it all together though and started sewing on the other ones. So I'm going to cut these in half. Let's see. They're 2.5. Now they need to be 1.25. Yep, so I'm going to trim these to 1.25. So I have one side is 1.5 and one side is 1.25. So I'm hoping that 1/4 inch will be a big difference. So I'm just going to chop all these in half by bringing them over here, keeping them together, chopping them from 2.5 to 1.25. I know it seems like a really small cut. Hopefully these blocks won't be too funky, but at least I'll get some kind of change, I guess, hopefully, in them where they look just right, I guess. Quarter. Come on. Line up. Line up. Just buy the red fabric. No, this is, I had it in on the shelf, but it doesn't match. It's a totally different red than what I was using earlier. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can tell it's 2 different colors. One's more of an orangey red and one's more of a blushy red. So you can see the difference. I can see the difference, but I'm mixing them up through the cuts. Nah, because I want the whole thing to be encased in red. See, it's sealing it. So I'm hoping it'll sit the way I want it to. Let me get this last cut done and I'll just start chain piecing the next section. So 1.5 cuts and 1.25 cuts. I want them to sit differently. 1, 2, like this. I'm trying to sit them differently. See how that works out. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Trim all these apart and start all over, and I will get to the rest as I go. So I'm not even going to use my ruler. I'm just going to cut them, lay them down. I'm going to try to at least not ruin them. Yeah, Lacey, I usually design most of my stuff. Everything that I make my own patterns and stuff. And I've also everything that I've made for everybody to be able to do, but I have not, it's not on a PDF form, so you actually have to watch the videos to follow along to it. Unfortunately, I know how to write the pattern, I just don't know how to add to the pattern is the problem. Like pictures and stuff of how it works and all the diagrams and stuff, I'm 100% not good at any of that kind of stuff. I tried to find someone to, edit videos for me and all that, and I suck at that too. It's my nemesis, let me tell you. but I've had issues and with learning technology because I have MS, so my brain doesn't take in the information like everybody else's. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't catch on like everyone else. Quilting I do. I don't do the math part though, usually. That's why you guys just kind of see me adding as I go. But some of the stuff that I've designed, it took a long time and a lot of people's help to get the math part down. But that's just with people using calculators for me. And because I measure after I make it too, and make sure before I tell anyone what it is or how it works. There's a lot of work that goes into my pattern designing, but it comes to me and I'm able to write it and on paper. If you guys could understand my gibberish, I would post the pieces of paper with my writing on it. But that's pretty much, like I just said, gibberish. To at least everyone but me. Mathematically challenged. Yes, so am I. I don't even think I was good in high school or elementary school with it. I don't know how I got through anywhere, anything. But I managed to learn how to quilt, and I designed them, and I don't need to know it. I just need to put it down on paper. I'm always asking my husband. He tells me the answers. And if I can't do it on the calculator, he can. Because I get lost adding these quarter or an inches, and then I get lost and not know what number to add when I'm just subtracting something. Or like, well, how do you subtract this much out of this much? Or if I need to add this seam, what do I? He's like, what are you talking about? Just tell me the numbers. It's funny. Yep, creative, not technical. Sometimes I miss comments too, by the way. I just see what pops up on the screen. Well, I'm glad you have a nerd husband to do that for you. Mine's not a nerd as opposed to, at least he remembers things that he learned in school, I guess. I sure as hell don't. I know 1 + 1 is 2. You know, simple, basic. I just can't do fractions and add this and minus that and subtract this times that, and I don't know. I'm lousy with that. All right, now to chain piece the next section through. Same exact procedure, opposite side. I have some of these upside down and some of these right sides up. Let me flip these. I think it started right there. There we go. Now, this side has 1.5 inch original, and now these are 1 1/4, which is going to be just slightly different. I should have just did 1.5 and just hoped that it looked right. But I wanted them to float. I was kind of wondering the same thing, Linda. Female dog's nickname. Oh, okay. Now that makes more sense. My name originally on here was so long. It was Tiffany Tattooed Disabled Quilter. And then I learned that there was already a tattooed quilter out there, so I couldn't take over tattooed quilter, which makes more sense for me because I'm covered in tattoos and the tattooed quilter isn't. So, I mean, unless he is under his clothing, and nobody's seen that, but I went through a ton of different names before I just said, you know what, I think we're just going to be Tiffany's Quilting Life and leave it at that. Because even my email is really long, too. Because it's Tiffany Groff Quilting Designs at Yahoo. So, but it has those underscores, and nobody can ever remember that. And I can't change it now. So again, I'm just butting these pieces up, one right after the other. You should be able to get 4 per strip. Because the length of these is 10 inches. So if you're using 42-inch fabric, but you have, the selvage. You should have plenty of room to get 4 strips per. If you don't think so, measure first, because I have seen some fabric with selvages taken off in that little area that has polka dots even past the selvage with the holes in it. I don't use that section either, and unfortunately that takes away another inch off both sides. So she was concealed minded, but now that she is more gray, she's crusty old. Okay, that's one full word. It's hard to read. Crusty old man beard face. Okay. Sometimes long words, some of the letters jumble up together because, like I said, the screen for me to see me is like this big, but the area that the screen puts the chat is like this big. So I just see this little section, and the writing is like that little. So I have to wear glasses to see it, or else you guys just watch me squint across the room constantly. We have a cat. His name is Thumper, but I made him a quilt so that he'd stay out of here. Who, me? Or Krusty, which is Lacey. Like I said, it's going to take a minute before I put 2 and 2 together. Yes, Linda, I did. I had my pizza, and like I told you guys, I said, I don't know if I'll be back, but I'll probably be back either tonight or tomorrow. So anybody realizes that it's 11:40 p.m. here, so technically I'm working from tonight till tomorrow. It's the Insomniac Hours episode. That way by tomorrow, this will be ready to put the rows and everything together. So yeah, I can have this almost ready for the long arm. Then I can, well, I don't have to load red thread because there's already red thread in it. I just have to take off my practice piece that's on there that I was doodling on. But you guys won't be able to see that unless I do it on the YouTube, or I mean on the group, and or record it and then post it, which takes forever to do because a video that's 15 minutes long takes 4 to 12 hours to upload with my internet, and a video that's 30 minutes long could take up to 4 days for our internet to upload it to my YouTube. Absolutely horrible. So that's why I bought my camera and everything from that from the raffle, and yeah, I haven't even, I've made like several videos and I've wanted to post them and I've edited a few, but I don't want you guys to have that banner across until I can get rid of that. So some of them are really stupid. That's why I haven't even posted them. It was just me trying to edit videos, you know. We have Frontier here. We have 2 different places. We have Frontier and Sudden Link, and it sucks. Both of them suck. We don't have, our city doesn't have a high upload speed. We have download speeds, but we don't have upload speeds. And for what I do with the videos, we need a higher upload speed so that I can even do, I have a program on this computer that I can run just by the click of my mouse. I can change the camera. So if I want you guys to see just the machine only, I have a camera angle for that. If I wanted you to see the far away screen so you can see a wider angle of the room, I have a camera for that. But I have the program and I can't use it because I don't have enough upload speed, and that the program requires me to have like 4 bits and we only have 1, if that. Like it really goes to 0.9, so it doesn't even actually hit 1. I don't know how internet works and all that, but it sucks. You guys are all pretty much 2 hours difference from me right now. Yeah, we can download, like watching Netflix. We can watch a Netflix movie in the living room. I can have a different Netflix movie on in my bedroom and watch, like YouTube videos. And my son can watch his Netflix in his room all at the same time, and it doesn't kill the internet. Sometimes it gets slow, but like on a windy day, it's really slow wireless wise. But like upload wise, I can barely put videos on, and I get kicked off a lot, and sometimes you get buffering. At nighttime, though, right this time of night, it's actually best. So when I come on late, Insomniac times is the best speed because nobody else in the house is using internet. So I have more chance to have more upload, and nobody else is using TVs to download. We even bought a special extender box to up our internet, boost it, and it still doesn't do anything. Still just as crappy as can be. $71 a month. Yeah, we don't pay that. Ours is like 66 or 65 or something like that. I mean, it's not bad for internet, but it's really slow. And we've tried to tell them what I do, but I guess there's not anybody here in Havasu that does YouTube videos or something because they don't offer it. So if there was other YouTubers, I don't know about them and never seen them because the internet companies have never had to put internet in their houses. At least they have not said they did, because they would have known when we were talking about needing upload speeds. Less people in general make it better. Yeah. Well, especially like if it's the same system in the same area. So like this neighborhood 4 blocks over and 4 blocks that way, they all have like the same internet. They all run off the same grid or something like that. So the less people at night, like right now on that grid, makes it easier. Sorry, it was chapstick time. I have chapstick OCD. You're in Cherry Valley. Interesting. That's over by where my mom lives. Sorta, kinda. I think that's the same area. At least I grew up in California until I was 16 years old and I moved away. I have a friend named Valerie who actually lives in Cherry Valley. My mom's in Ridgecrest. So I think it's the other side of the highway. Like she's off the 58, so it'd be off that next highway over 71 or 14, or I don't remember. One of those. And if you ever notice, anybody else notice, people that are new, I always pull my machine towards me. It's because it likes to vibrate away. And yes, there is one of those things that goes in the shelf, the anti-slip mat, grip mat, or whatever it is, underneath it, and it still slides away from me. Linda C, since there's 2 Lindas on here. Are you near Bakersfield at all? Belmont. Belmont is Southern California. I'm trying to think right now. Oh, you're even closer to me. Palm Springs is like 4.5, 5 hours from me. Actually, you live near in Palm Springs is the Quilting Cowboy. Have any of you gone and seen the Quilting Cowboy? Now there's one man who likes to show it all and then cover up with a quilt. He's definitely what I've seen on comments and stuff. The old ladies call him eye candy. And I don't mean just old ladies, all ladies, but the elderly ladies, you know, the single elderly ladies call him eye candy. But unfortunately, ladies, he's gay. Yes. Yep. But he's a man that quilts. I give it to him. But he lives in Palm Springs, so you would be close to him. You're in, let's see, okay, hold on, you guys are confusing me because there's two Lindas. Colorado back through to Havasu. Yeah, okay, Victorville. So one of you is in Victorville? Okay, hold on. Linda with a Y and Linda with an I. So Linda with an I is near Palm Springs, and Linda with a Y is all these Linda names is near Victorville. My mom just moved out of Hesperia, so I definitely know where that is. It's where I used to go. She went from Hesperia to Ridgecrest. Yep, I've been there a bazillion times, which is not far from Michelle, you guys. So Linda with a Y, since you're there, you're not far from Michelle, and maybe you guys could have quilting visits. I went and met Michelle in California. I went to her house last year. It was a wonderful surprise visit and taken, so we couldn't add him even if he wasn't gay. I haven't seen him. Guess I've been wasting my time watching you. Yeah, go look him up, Linda. Look, it's the Quilting Cowboy. He's on YouTube. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He's all over the place. He's a tattooed gay man who's, well, in my opinion, he looks like he's like 45-ish, but he could be younger. I don't know. But he definitely shows it all. Like I said earlier, I watch a lot of people on YouTube. Like, that's what started me. Once I realized that people did quilting videos on YouTube and I wanted to teach, and I didn't want to just teach from home. I wanted to teach from home, but to the world. That's what got me into it, was the fact that I saw so many people. I was like, well, I'll take a couple hints from here, there, and everywhere, and I'll just do it myself. Really? You're not a good judge of it. I'm not either. I don't know. I've met some men and women that look way older, and then I've met some people that look way older but are way younger, and then I met some people that are way younger and look older because drugs or alcohol or something in their lives changed things. So it makes it hard to judge, and I don't like to guess their ages, you know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, most of you guys probably say I look younger, but I'm older than I look. And I've been told I look young by a billion people. I guess over the years I just stayed away from makeup to ruin my skin, so I kept the younger look. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a good judge of it. Linda with a Y, your mom lives by me? Where does she live? hard to tell nowadays with all the Botox people use. Yeah. Yep. They get all those facial injections and lip injections and injections, and I don't know. They have Botox though for people like me with MS. They do MS for like, I don't know where they put it or how it's used, but they do have Botox for MS patients now. Some sort of, it's put into somewhere to prevent pain or something. I have no idea. I haven't read it. I saw an article about it that I got in my email. I just haven't read it yet. Yeah, just go check him out. It's not that bad. I mean, once you get past the wanting to stare at him and you actually start looking at the quilting that he's doing, he doesn't really go into depth like I do. I think out of everybody I've ever watched, me and Laura Lynn, Mom and Pop, she's as much of a from beginning to end quilter as me. I like the whole beginning to end thing. Yeah, see, I've heard of things like that for Botox too, but most people, I guess, take advantage, like getting it around their mouths and in their cheeks and in their eyebrows. I've seen a lot of people get it in their eyebrows, like thinking that their eyebrows are sagging or something. I don't know. She lives on Outpost Drive. Okay, wait, did I miss what city she lives in, Linda? Like lives by me as in lives by my house? In Havasu, because we have an Outpost Drive here. So your mom is in Havasu? That's crazy. Yeah, that's not far from me at all. It's the south side of town, but it's not far. I'm central. Obviously, this town isn't that big. We just have a central, a northern, and a southern part of town. And then we have Havasu Heights and then Donkey Acres and so on and so forth. Yeah, does your mom quilt? She can come over and hang out with me. I definitely could use somebody to start cutting these apart. I'm an insomniac and I'm crazy though, so I don't know. Some people don't do well with me, in person at least, because I talk a lot and stuff. And I don't have the same hours as everyone else. Yes, we have an area of town called Donkey Acres. It's not because there's a ton of donkeys there. It's just, I don't even know why they call it that. Maybe it is because the donkeys are out there. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's little parts of town everywhere, all over town, that are called certain things. Just like because we get a lot of spring breakers here, a lot of people call Havasu Havascrew. Spring breakers, Havascrew, get it? So this town has had its plenty of nicknames, plenty of funny nicknames. And then, like I've said before in my videos, telemarketers and people out of state don't even know how to say Havasu. They say, so you live in Havasu? I'm like, no, it's Havasu. Havasu? No, it's Havasu. It's super funny that they can't even say it. Margaret talks a lot. Linda, because we bombarded. Yes, she got bombarded today. It was kind of funny. She never had time to really even sew. She doesn't normally have that many questions. It's weird. She had a lot of viewers today, though. Sometimes it's only like at 115. She had 170, almost 185 at one point in time on there. So that's probably why. Everyone had a lot to say today, that's for sure. It's 6G, well, 6 grow. My fingers aren't working. Okay, I'm trying to think. I'll just wait until they're working and I can understand what you're saying. Is that why that message says retracted, maybe? Who normally don't comment or commenting. Yeah, I usually comment. Surprisingly, Margaret usually sees my comments. and talk, says something. But today it was going so fast that she wasn't really seeing him until the end. She caught a couple. Everyone was curious about the blocks swap thing that she's doing. She's very organized with that, that's for sure. I try to stay organized in here. You guys, if you ever go to my video of my Lacey, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I have a video of my room. I think I have a video tour that says room tour. I'm not sure. There is one though that shows my new space, and yeah, it's semi OCD organized, but not fully, It's getting to the point where it's almost severe OCD, but not completely. I went too far on that one. Can't butt it up. I got to be able to butt it up as close as possible, or else I can't get these pieces up. Enough pieces per strip. I need 4 pieces per strip for this to work. You guys are going to get to be able to see me do the last of the trimming, because I'm going to attempt to make a one size for all the blocks, but they just turn different ways when I lay it out. So you'll be the first to see what I'm attempting here. It's raining there again. See, why can't you guys just blow the rain here? We need some rain. I don't like it because it hurts me, but we definitely need it because it's really dry here. My son's been working outside pulling weeds, and it's so dry it just dusts up and it causes allergies to get worse. We need some rain to push it back down. Your sewing room is OCD and chaotic organized too. Yeah, see, mine's like, I don't know. I have it a certain way, and I don't want it messed up. I have a corner over there that's a pile because it's all like customer stuff piling up. But other than that, I'm trying to get the rest of my stuff. I still haven't finished the quilt show fabric that I got. It's kind of still, that most of it's gone through, and I have a big, huge pile, which you can't see. It's right here on the stand, that it's pressed and ready to subcut into something. I just haven't finished the rest of it, but all the yardage is all bolted up. Everything else is folded really nicely and put away in my drawers by order of sizes. So if it's like a half a yard or less, it's nicely in a drawer and or cut up into 2.5 inch strips. And yeah, everything's nicely situated. I just haven't finished the nice situation. Supposed to be finishing cutting and sewing strips for Margaret's swap, but the math was throwing you off. Well, you're gonna have to wait until the husband's up, so that is your husband asleep, so that you can have him do some math for you. I don't know what exactly is going into. I haven't really been paying attention, but I've been paying attention to her videos to know what's going on. Last week she was working on another project, so she really didn't talk about the swap too much. To have a long arm. See, some of the letters disappear. I don't even know. I can't see. And starting with a sit-down quilting machine. But you are starting with a sit-down quilting machine. I started with sit-down free motion, and I don't know. It's just, maybe it's the MS, and my hands are up too long. Obviously, when I free motion quilt, normally my machine is lower, but because of my moving in house and never got to finish my table and stuff, it's a different height. But I started with that, and I found out there was such a thing as a long arm, and I got the mid arm, and I went super crazy. I don't know how I knew how to do all that. I just knew. So it took a while. I grew out of it so fast that it took a long time for my husband to say yes, obviously, to me making a very large payment for a very long time. Any of these, you mean? This is pink with pink polka dots. It's like a pink on pink polka dots. This is a green on, or yeah, green on green polka dot. And then this one's a pink as well right here. This one's just really bright pink, so on camera it looks different. Yeah, I already searched the whole room. That's what took me a long time to come back on, because I had all my pieces cut and ready. Hold on, I thought about waking him up to figure it out before you decided you didn't want to make him mad. See, I don't make Scott mad. I leave him sleep. Usually the sewing machine wakes him up, honestly. That's why normally this time I'm out in the garage, and then by day I would come in here. Be everywhere but your sewing room, Linda. You try to clean it, but you get so stressed on a quilt, your daughter is going to come organize it for you. Don't have her organize it too much, so make sure you're paying attention to what she does. I hate when my kids come in here and then they put something somewhere or do something and then it ends up somewhere totally different. When it was all out in the garage, it ended up everywhere, so I really had to clean up, keep everything the way I had it, like the way I wanted it. Sit down is awesome. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, Vicky looks dark. Okay, Linda, I had to sit down long arms and finally got a stand up with 12-foot frame. Yeah, it's the only reason why some people can't do, I mean, they probably would be learning it really easily. Most people can't do it, one, because of the price, and two, because if you go anything bigger than a 5-foot frame, which 5-foot frames are nice and all if you're doing baby and lap quilts all the time. If you want to definitely go up there in size-wise with quilts, that was my problem with my 10-foot frame. I could fit a king, but not like a fully big, huge king. I could only go up to 110 inches. Now I can go up to 120 on my 12-foot frame. And I was really pushing it with 110 inches on the other one. But that's why I opted to go with the whole new frame. But we did measure our whole house, and there was no way that my frame would have fit anywhere but the living room or the dining room, which we weren't going to do because of the babies. So, and then I thought about putting it in my bedroom, but it requires at least 14 feet of walk-around space, you know, to be able to walk around it and stuff, and by 4 feet of space. So if I would have put it in my bedroom and put this room as my bedroom, I would have been screwed at having the quilting stuff in that room too, because that room's 14 feet long. It's 15 feet long, but I wouldn't have had the extra space because it's only 11 foot wide. So I would have only had not even 5 feet of manageable space on one side of the room to even try to fit all this that's in here. So I just kept it in the garage, and someday the garage will get an AC unit in it. For now, I can't do any quilting in the summertime, which sucks, but I'll try to do everything here. You don't have a room big enough. And you like being able to park in your garage. Well, I have a 2-car boat deep garage. That's the only reason why I can still park my car, fit the long arm, and still, if I had other things stored, you know, I could put more stuff in there. We just don't, because we like to be able to walk around everything. Because I have more fabric storage out there. Yeah, here it's nice to be able to park in your garage. That's why I couldn't take up too much of the garage, because it gets so hot here, you know, up to 120 degrees. You want to be able to leave your air conditioning house into your air conditioning car, which is in the garage, leave the car, you know, pull out of the garage and get to a store and walk 5 feet into air conditioning store. So it's good to be able to come right out of air conditioning car right into your house 5 feet away, you know, and or store, especially in the summer. So back to Linda with your mom being here. Do you ever come here to visit her? Because if you ever come here to visit her, you come over and we can hang out and make a quilt. Do something fun. a lot of room in the basement if you're sewing and you have enough room, not enough money. At least you have a basement. I wish we had a basement. That would be cool because then I could have something that's air conditioned. I just wouldn't be able to go up and down stairs. That's the sucky part. But, hold on, let's see. I put my dining room on 14-foot wall, just enough to squeeze around. Soon you'll have crap all over the house. Yeah, just let me know anytime you're around. Obviously, you're in the group, right? I know you are because there's like 5 Lindas in the group. So I know there's a lot of you in it. All you have to do is message me on Facebook and let me know when you're going to be around and we can get together. I can take you to the quilt shops. That's if it's on a weekday, obviously, because they are closed Sundays and Mondays. The other one is closed Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But I don't have Joann's or any of that here. We got cute little quilt stores. And then Walmart and Hobby Lobby, of course. Which are my 2 places to go. And Tuesday morning, obviously. Post pictures when I do what? Finally hang out with somebody? I went to a subscriber already once. It's kind of hard because I don't travel much. But I traveled last year. I had to go see where my mom moved to at her place. She went from Hesperia to Ridgecrest, so I had to go see where she lives. And then while I was right there, Michelle was only an hour away. So I was like, I know her address. I'm just gonna go surprise her after, chatting on the phone forever all the time. I decided it was time to just meet her in person. So now I know my best friend in person, other than video chatting all the time. I was in one. There's no sure of the name, but it was nice. In one what? Oh, the quilt shop? We have, hold on, I gotta think, Copper Canyon Quilting and Fabrics Unlimited, which has its own little name, but the actual fabric store part of it is called Fabrics Unlimited. And both of them have awesome, amazing owners. One sells long arms. They sell handy quilters, and they have them set up so that you can test them. And then the other one does not sell long arms, but they have custom fabrics. Nice little shops, though. One has classes. The other one has classes too, but one's classroom is a lot bigger than the other. You probably went to the one on Acoma, which is Fabrics Unlimited. They've been here longer. I'm almost there. Just a few more to go. I gotta cut them all apart and find a good size to trim them to on the sides. Maybe I'll end up with some weird equal number almost. And all I have to do is flop them top bottom. And the only seams I'll have to nest on this whole entire quilt are the seams of each block coming together. So there'll be no nesting any seams. Which is definitely a fun and easy way to get a quilt done fast. Stay up until you finish the whole thing. I'm not sure. We'll see. I will end up most likely going to take a cigarette break sooner or later. Because I don't smoke indoors, I only smoke outside. So just like my cat, I don't really, because I do customer quilts, I made him his own quilt to, for him to lay in here. But then he was still wanting to just roll around on the floor, and I didn't want cat hair getting on anything that's not for me, that's for someone else. So I put his quilt in my room, and now he stays in my room. But I usually go on the back patio. That's what I liked about my mobile, because then I can just take you guys outside with me and hang out and chit-chat. But I've only done that once in the past, actually. Where I paused. I didn't pause my live stream, but I got up. I was in the garage, and I went outside to smoke. I have my one bad habit. Besides eating things that I shouldn't, that's my other bad habit, obviously. I'm sure work fast is such a perfectionist. Spend more time ripping. Well, you need to stop that. Honestly, it's best to just, if it's a really, really big mistake and it's going to be super noticeable, then seam rip it. That's what I do. But anything else, I don't know. For some strange reason, I'm just faster about it. And the more you do it faster constantly, that actually more accurate you will become going faster. Like, I nest most of my seams when I do have seams this quilt long. But when I have seams to nest, I just go right through them and I never have a problem. Every once in a while I'll have one that's slightly off, but most of the time, even going as fast as I do, I don't miss a step. The only thing I do, this is the whole chain piecing thing, speeds up the process, especially with long strips like this. It's a lot easier. So if you want to get something done, you want to do it fast, especially if you're just adding strips to something, it's definitely easier to chain piece the whole project. There's no point in stopping and pressing every single block. Because look at that. In an hour and 23 minutes with some talking, I have managed to sew all these pieces. In a little bit of extra time, I will have trimmed them apart. With 2 pieces to spare. Look at that. I don't need them though. All right, so I'm going to trim all these apart and then see what we got going on here. And again, like I said, these seams, I don't know how well you can see it. See how they're sticking up like that? I'm not going to trim them off because the whole block is going to get trimmed when I press it all. So right now I'm just going to snip them all apart. And then I also am going to put them back in their piles. They kind of got messed up because there's 8 rows, but there's only 7 colors. So I'm going to put them back in their 7 colors and 8 piles. That way I can keep track of how the order is going to lay. Well, ladies, it's time to get some sleep. So good night to all. Bye, Linda. Get some rest. I'm glad you jumped in and said hi, though. It's always nice to have a fellow insomniac up to hang out, even if it's for a short period of time. I don't know yet. I don't think about it until the quilt top is done when it comes to quilting. It's kind of weird. Sometimes, though, I have it in mind. Like the one that's for my customer, I already know that I got to do some rope on it, make it look like rope, because it's nautical. So I need to make it look like rope or chain or something. Of course, both of those would kind of look the same, honestly. Just so that it has some nautical feel to the quilting, because I don't think feathers are going to look good on nautical type related stuff. Other than that, most of the time I don't know what I'm going to do. I just kind of go with the flow. Once I see it laid out, then I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to do this. And sometimes I even change my mind while I'm at the machine, which I've done quite a bit of, that whole mind changing thing. Again, I'm not caring when I split these apart, obviously. I'm just cutting them apart as long as I'm doing it close enough to not change the block at an angle or cut the pieces. I'm not even using a ruler. See how they're stuck together? For anybody that's new, I'm just snipping apart right there in that section between the two. Some people don't know, so I have to make sure I show it for later viewers. I didn't know when I first started, so obviously I've picked up a couple tricks of my own as well over time. But I have red thread already on the frame right now, or already on the machine out there, and a ton of bobbins in red, so ready to go. I was using the dark colors because I was playing with practice pieces. Oh, and I forgot to post those pictures earlier. I said I would in the group, and I totally forgot. I'm going to have to remind myself to do that later, of what I was messing about doing, and I realized I can do on my first try, because I had never done it before. I was very proud of myself. I just got to work more on my loops, which you'll see because it's in the picture. My loops are absolutely horrible. Well, for me at least. They are horrible when I sit down and do it too, though. And yes, I'm randomly conversating right now. Just babbling on. That's what I do. I haven't slept. And just, like, I don't know. Alrighty, almost done cutting, and then I just got to press it all back. And I'm not going to do anything else besides press them, and then I'm going to lay them out on the floor and kind of give it myself the general idea of what it's going to look like. But I also want to measure the blocks after they're pressed to make sure what size I need to trim them all down to. So that'll probably end up being yet another video. I don't know yet. We can see how much I can get done so that I'm not on here forever, obviously. As it says, an hour and 26 minutes so far. Plus, I didn't even show you guys a picture of all the fabrics yet. I posted in the group, but I didn't show you what all fabrics I was using. So I'm going to bring the ironing board. I'm just going to turn you guys so that you can watch me press and I can still see the screen, if that makes any sense. Because you know how I like to look at the screen. And don't mind me, I am in my pajamas, obviously. Well, my bottom half. So I'm going to turn to the iron. Don't mind the wiggling. Ta-da! Bring my wonderful big huge pile over here and start pressing. As soon as it's hot. As soon as it's hot enough. Me too. I love that one. That's why it's hanging up. That is why it is hanging up. There's another one hanging up next to it that I really like too. I still have my wall hanging to put up also. So I forgot all about that. I think about it and then I don't think about it. I'm like, oh wait, I gotta get a rod for it though. And this is when I want steam. Ugh. I don't feel like refilling the iron every 10 seconds though. Well, I can tell which side is bigger and which side is smaller already. Hopefully I'll get that illusion that I'm looking for. I'm curious now how big the block actually ended up though. Let's see. Is it bigger than my little 12-inch ruler? No, let's see, it is 10 and 10 and a quarter. So will I be able to cut it 10 and a quarter? Not really. I won't be able to do 10 and a quarter by 10 and a quarter. So we'll figure that one out in a minute. But it came out 10 and a quarter. I like the small one you made out of the little scraps. The one that you showed. Oh, the little white and black and gray one. Yes, I like that one too. I don't know what to quilt on it, or else it would have already been quilted by now because it's small, and the small projects go quick. I usually have them quilted pretty darn quick. As you guys noticed, I did quilt a quilt in one whole live video. An hour and 23 minutes it took me to quilt a lap quilt. All by myself. I was very proud of myself that my time has gotten faster. When I really want to get something done, I get it done, I guess. I'm faster than my machine regulator. Maybe one day they'll create a machine regulator, a stitch regulator that's as fast as I am, I guess. The one that I made out of scraps, the last time I made a quilt and then made scrap quilt right after, that's the other one that's hanging on the wall from the orange and blue quilt series. Yeah. That one was really cool. It's hanging behind me. I'm gonna try to get all these pressed real quick. Without steam, it seems like it's pressing slower. Oh well. I have the fan on too. It's blowing my pieces around. Do you sell? No, I don't sell them all. Unfortunately. I even let my ads on Etsy expire temporarily until I get more done so that I can post more for sale. Mainly, people just come to me that want custom quilts done, and that's how I get my customers, because someone saw something on Pinterest and goes, oh my God, make this for me. Or on Facebook, or, they see something somewhere and can you replicate this? So I do my best to either find a pattern or replicate it by eye. That's my favorite thing to do, honestly, though, is to replicate it. Unfortunately, that's my unfavorite thing to do, because then I have to do all the math on my own, especially if it's a small quilt that they saw online, but they want a bigger version. But I also like making and designing my own patterns and then selling them. I also like when customers come to me and say, it's all on you. This is the colors I want. You design the rest. I appreciate when they come to me like that. But no, I don't sell all the quilts. The one behind me is for sale, if anybody's interested. One of these days I'll make a video of just what's for sale. Obviously, you guys are quilters, so you can just make it yourselves, but anybody else that ever watches the video can be like, oh, I liked that one. I need to start selling more, because I can't keep making, obviously selling the quilts is what helps me make my tutorials, if you guys didn't know that. So sooner or later, I'm going to have a lower fabric stash because I'm kind of using up a lot of stuff. So in the future, I have to start selling more, because I'm, you guys want me to teach more once I get the whole internet thing and everything going good and so on and so forth. Hi, Marla. Once I get all that stuff going good, then, and making videos all the time, I'm going to have all of it's on me. This is all on me, all my, what I would call a small budget, and a lot of quilting on a small budget. So I'm going to have to, sooner or later, have more people buying that stuff. It's nice of you to join us, Marla, after hours, in the Insomniac hours. I'm just pressing all the pieces that I went ahead and sewed the next part on, so that all I have to do is trim the blocks down and lay them out and hook them together. Yep, I am too. That's why I'm on. Definitely a night owl. My phone is going crazy right here. It's on vibrate, so you guys can't hear it go ding, but it's definitely making noises. On my side, at least. Making noises on my side. I don't know if you can see in the camera view, but you can tell that this top half is smaller than the bottom half. So hopefully we're going to see that difference when I lay it out. It sucks that I couldn't do the 2.5 inch though, because of the whole not having enough fabric. Because I would have really liked to have done it that much of a float, but we'll see how this looks. It might just be a minor jump, but it might look good. Hard to sell them because people have no idea the money and work that goes into them. Yeah, they don't know. Most people don't. But the people that do know, that aren't quilters, but they know, are the ones that come to me. Like, because they've seen all the work that I've put into it by watching, a video, or they see my posts on Facebook of progress and stuff. That's how I find people that, or they find me, I should say. Out here, it's not as popular as the East Coast, though. Out here, when I make quilts, the batting is thinner, lightweight batting, so that people don't get hot, because it's so hot here. Who wants a quilt when it's hot, Even 50-degree weather, most people don't even turn their heaters on in their houses. We get people, what we call snowbirds, that come here, and they don't, they have quilts at their home areas, but they don't have quilts here. So it's rare to get someone here that needs it. But I have quilters here that will use me for long arming quilting services. So either way, I can make a little bit of money on the side. Which reminds all of you, anybody who doesn't want to quilt their own tops, I do take in long arming. So you do have to ship it to me, obviously, and pay for your own return shipping. But yeah, I do offer long arming services for those of you who do not quilt your own quilts. I know some of you that have watched me in the past, and some of my followers just like piecing only, so just remember that for the future. It's just the same as it would be sending it to Missouri Star Quilt Company or some of those places. It's the same thing. I do everything from my brain. I don't use a computer, so whatever I do, I don't even use pantographs, because I still have yet to use a pantograph. Whatever I do is from how I've seen it done, or just because it comes out of my head and it's random. That's my normal relaxed time, though. Your time right now, Marla. And I finally fall asleep usually around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., somewhere in that time. but it's only 12:30 here. Well, 12:33 exactly. I've been on here for an hour and 39 minutes, so I've managed to get all 56, I think, of my blocks done. I wasn't completely counting, but I know there's 7 stacks of 8. I think that's 56. I'm not sure. But I managed to get them all done. Now I just need to trim them and hook them together. But I want them all to be the same width. Can't figure the pantograph out. Is it you can't figure the pantograph out, Linda? My thing is that they're so expensive. I have the laser to do them, and obviously it goes on the frame on the backside. I have all that, to do it, and the rear handlebars and everything, but I don't know if I can follow the line. I told my daughter to, because she likes to draw, I told her to take and just like 4 pieces of paper, hook them together with tape, and draw a single line design so that I can follow the laser and see how well it works. But I don't know if I can wrap my head and the laser together yet. Yeah, it was more than 1 layer cake. I didn't think of it because you guys, I don't do the math, you know that, but it's going 7 across by 8 down because there's 8 rows of 7 pieces. So one of you should have popped on with the math and went, hey, that's whatever 7 times 8 is. Because I don't know. It's like 50 something. 56, I think. So it's like a layer cake is usually 40 or 42 pieces. It depends on what company. Plus a couple extra pieces. Except this wasn't a layer cake, though. This was something else. They were from something else, I should say, the pieces. The fabric. Because there's only 7 colors, and a layer cake has more than 7 colors. Definitely more than 7 colors. I do like the fact that I turned all of my stripes. So some stripes are going this way. Some stripes are going this way. Some are going this way. Some are going this way. They're all different, which kind of is going to make this look cool. Those pre-cuts are much smaller. So Free Spirit has, so I shouldn't ever buy Free Spirit fabrics because they're smaller. Mainly I get Benertex, that's my favorite brand. And then Robert Kaufman, and let's see, I have some Riley Blake. What else do I got? I don't know what else I have. I have some more, like when it comes to pre-cuts, I mean, smaller quantity. So, so they put, like, instead of 40 pieces, they put 20 pieces or something. They probably try to get you to buy more because you're spending more money. I was just looking for her fabrics last night on another website, and I couldn't even find them, but everything else was pretty good priced for yardage. I was going to ask anybody, for those that watch later also, has anybody used Marshall Dry Goods? Because I want to order from there, but I hate not being able to touch the fabric first. But they have some backing fabric on there, and designer brands for designer fabrics, good ones for $7.99 for the 108 and $7.99 a yard. And that is a really good deal because Hobby Lobby's is like 11 something, like $11.59 or something like that. And Joann's is like 15 to 25, it's pretty expensive. And their quality isn't as good. So I wanted to know what Marshall Dry Goods was like. So I want opinions on Marshall Dry Goods, MDG.com. It's in Arkansas. I mean, it looks legit. They have all the good brands from Andover, Free and so on and so forth, and Robert Kaufman and Riley Blake and blah, 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 blah. They have all of it, Benertex, and I could keep going. But yeah, they have it all, and it's pretty decent priced for yardage. The most I was seeing was $8.99 a yard, but a lot of it was like $5.59 and $4.59 and so on and so forth for yardage on some of the brands. So never bought 108 though, huh? So are they, is their fabrics, like say their brand's fabric, because their brand fabric is the cheaper brand. Have you bought their brand fabric, the Marshall Dry Goods brand itself? And if so, is it really thin quality or thick quality? Never bought anything from them. Yeah, my problem is internet purchasing, because I've never purchased from their site yet, you know? Not happy with Hobby Lobby's 108. Pre-washed it and it was still rough. Yeah, I had an issue with rippage on the long arm from Hobby Lobby's 108. Well, one of the brands that Hobby Lobby sells. I don't know what happened. It got caught on something. I don't know, but it ripped the back, and I had to take it off the frame and fix it and go back, reload it back on the frame and start all over again. And I paid like $11.99 a yard for that stuff. So if Marshall Dry Goods has it for $7.99, I would prefer to spend $7.99 a yard instead, especially for 108. You haven't bought anything from them in a while. You buy Moda, Kaufman, etc. Well, they sell that though on there. Like I said, they have every brand that I can think of. I saw all of them. They have a list. You just go on their little the 3 lines, click on that, and it takes you to the brands. And you can just choose whatever. But I don't know what brand. They have some boutiques in the 108. And I was thinking about for my huge big star quilt, because that's all boutiques, the whole quilt. So I was thinking on backing it with some like yellow or orange boutiques, or batik, just one singular color. I don't know. I can make a piece backing for it. I guess I'm going to have to buy it. Hopefully I'll get some comments tomorrow with the other opinions, I guess. If anybody else has purchased from there, just in case. You haven't had any credit card fraud or anything like that from their website? I know you said it's been a while, but oh yeah, because she has a lot of followers. So I'm almost at 300. Surprisingly, it's taken a long time to get there, though. A long time. I mean, it took me forever to get to 100, and I was super happy. And then it took me forever to get to 200. Now I'm almost at 300, and it seems like it took forever again. But I don't post as much videos, so I know that's why a lot of people haven't subscribed, because I'm not a frequent poster. I mean, I do come on live and stuff, and I'm a very happy person normally, and very talkative especially. I've been told I'm super easy to learn from, but the fact that I don't have as much content is probably why. Plus, I cannot write my own patterns, so that probably makes it harder for people that want at least a paper version of it, or be able to print it on a PDF. So until I can figure that out, maybe my subscribers will go up more. I don't know. I'm not too worried. I just am going to miss probably being able to do live videos from my mobile devices, because that's how I did it. Same here. The quilt shop, stores and quilt shops. I post a lot more than some people. Well, I'm trying to stay consistent, at least with my Sundays. Yes, I know Sandy posts at least twice a day. I don't think they are pretty. No, I think they're pretty safe. A lot of people seem to buy from them in some of the quilting pages. Plus, your credit card should be secure. Oh, well, yeah, obviously it has all that. We've already had a fraud problem Sandy is Poor Man's Sewing. I don't know if you watched that, but Sandy is the one. She pops on, it says Poor Man's Sewing. That would be Sandy. But yeah, we had credit card fraud 2 years ago, and it's just a drain. People were spending money in another state at gas stations and stuff, and it was weird because some companies are so horrible that they'll sell your credit card number, or somebody will steal it during an over-the-phone payment or something. They'll steal the number and they'll sell it. So people got to watch out for that, because that's how we found out that was what was happening. How is your hand from earlier when you burnt it? Well, it's fine. It's dark right here and it hurts, but obviously you saw the picture. It's okay. The skin is peeling up really bad now, but that's always going to happen with a blister. I'm pretty sure it's because I went like this. I'm not going to go that close, but I went to go like this, and you guys didn't notice because I was turned this way ironing earlier, so that's why you guys didn't see. Put butter on it, or I have aloe. I'll put aloe on it before I go to bed because I have a special cream that goes on my hands. I can't put too much on my hands, unfortunately. Unfortunately, with my MS, because I have a skin problem from MS, and it causes my hands to break out really, really, really bad. So I can't wash them as often, and so on and so forth. It's actually kind of annoying, but I have that, and then I put the gloves that Anna sent me on. I have other gloves from before, but Anna sent me some cool ones that are more trending, so they're pretty awesome to put on over my rash hands. You guys can't see it because you can't see that clear, but my skin is really, really red and dry. It's not as red as this, though. It's like one of those things you got to see in person. It's really rough and nasty looking and wrinkled and so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't have any onion. If that's what you wrote, right? Onion. I said that earlier. I don't like onion. I mean, I do. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the smell of this iron either. This iron sucks. I'm used to hurting myself, though. If you go back like many, long time ago's videos, I sew over my finger in one of them with that machine, with the Juki. So weird not using all this steam on anything. I like garlic and I like onion. I just don't like the smell of it. So if it's minced really tiny and stuck into my food, or if I just use garlic and onion powders, like onion powder and stuff, then it's not bad. But the smell of actual onion cooking on the stove, I don't like it. Don't know why. Just don't. Smells irritate me. That's all I know. All right, guys. Here's my stack. You know, another quilt that now that I'm thinking of quilts, all this, another quilt that needs to be finished is this one right here. If some of you might remember, the Bargello, it's just sitting here in a bag. I'm not going to take it out because it's folded really nicely in a bag, but I just realized that this was sitting right here. Oh, so many things to do, so many projects to complete. And see, here's my stack right here. This stack is all fabric that's pressed and ready to trim down. I need to finish my quilt too that I made for my bed, because I didn't want to go fill up a bunch of water bottles. That's why I'm not using steam. I have a bunch of water bottles that I keep in here, and they're all empty. And I don't feel like going to fill them all up. All right. Back down. Too high. Too high. There we go. Sorry about the wiggling, guys. The camera's on top of the TV, that's why. All right. So far, without trimming, some of the blocks look like this. And as you can see, you can tell that this is the longer side and this is the shorter side. So when I lay them next to each other, hold on, let me put the longer side on this side. They're going to slightly, they're the same size exactly, but 1/4 inch difference. So hold on, let's see if I can lay them on me so you can see. Because I can't really move the camera too much. It'll be too shaky. Let's line it up exactly. There we go. I got 2 big, huge boobies now, guys. You can see that they're slightly different. Slightly different. Stay. They'll be slightly different. So hopefully what I want will come out like I want it. I don't know. I have to trim them now and see. I'm going to take a block and grab my big ruler and see what they're coming out as. And everything's falling off the shelf now. All right, so I will be able to trim these to a generous, let's see. Holy moly. That's 10.5 right there on that one. Boy, oh boy, that one's almost 10.5 by 10.25. So I'm going 10.25 by 10.25 because that's what they came out after pressing. So let me look at this. Yep, and that's 10.25, and that's 10.25. Yep. So I'm going to be able to get them. Let's grab another one from further in and see. These are going to be able to be 10.25. Yeah, this one's going to be for myself as well. It's just going to go in the living room. It's technically not my quilt. It's the house quilt. Ooh, that one's going to be tight. I might be able to squeeze that one in. That's 10.25. But, this quilt right here that I've been slowly free motion quilting. This is my idea quilt where I free motion quilt ideas in certain areas. So this queen size quilt right here is my actual personal quilt that I have yet to finish. As you can see, it has quilting of all different sorts on it. So I just got to finish it. So that's my personal quilt. This is not done. It's almost done. Just not done. It will be done someday, though. I like having it for ideas, that's for sure. But this will just go in the living room. All right, so my next step is to trim them all. I'm going to lay them right here, and then I'll tip the camera down so you can see. Trying to move some of my stuff out of the way so I can lay like 5 blocks or something, 6 blocks. And that's a big one. That's a small one. I'm just going to overlap them. You'll see that, whatchamacallit, the not trimmed sides yet. So if that's a small one, then this one will be the big one. This one is that one. This one will be a small one. I can totally see my 2 colors now. And perfectionist, you have to follow the pattern. Yeah, I don't need to follow a pattern. I just follow what's in my head. What I see, what my vision is. That one's a big one. I'm glad I mixed those 2 color reds throughout this whole thing because I would have never had it right. This one, there's a small one. All right. I'm going to tip the camera down. I think this will look just fine after they're trimmed, obviously. Okay, don't mind the shaky thing real quick, guys. Stay. I'm talking to it like as if it was a dog or a cat. So that's what I'm going for. That gives me a lot of opportunity to quilt something specific in these areas and then something totally different in these areas. So obviously We'll add my stripes, you know. They're going to be slightly off. So this point is actually like a 1/4 inch lower. You guys can't tell from in the video, but the points are a 1/4 inch difference. So they're going to shift just by 1/4 inch only because I couldn't do the bigger borders. I wanted to do 2.5 and 1.5, but I had to cut them down because I didn't have enough fabric. So obviously they're 1.5 and 1 1/4, which is fine because it gives it slightly difference. I think it'll look cool. So this will be the rest after I trim it all and then come back tomorrow to put it together. So I'm going to tip the camera back up real quick. Don't mind the wiggling again, guys. Everything's falling off the shelf. All right, so yes, I think it's gonna look great. I mean, I love the color red, obviously, but I wasn't too into the idea of adding red with red, but it was already in the box, so I must have been thinking something, obviously. I'll be signing off soon. I'm going to find the naked cowboy quilter. Yeah, just go look. I'm telling you, the thing is. Quilting, it's either Quilting Cowboy or the Quilting Cowboy, but I'm pretty sure it's just Quilting Cowboy. So yeah, he's definitely a sight for sore eyes. Is that how you say it? When something is too much is a sight for sore eyes, or I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. I guess I don't know, but where have you been? All right, so. Perfectionist. So you have to follow the pattern. I already read that. You too, Marla. All right. Well, everyone, in the matter of 2 hours, so to speak, we chit-chatted, and I managed to get all 56 of my blocks ready to be trimmed. So I'm rushing through this one. So tomorrow, if I would have actually spent the 2 hours earlier, and then the 1.5-ish last night, and the 2 hours right now. So far, I'm at pretty like 6 hours-ish, 5.5, 6 hours of work on this. It's just the trimming, the consecutive trimming, I guess, is what's taking forever. All right, Marla, good night. So, like always, thank you everybody for watching and joining me because, well, it's Insomniac hours, and it was 4/7. Now it's 4/8, and I will probably be back again later today with some more, hopefully trimmed blocks and putting the rows together so everyone can see how that goes. So for anybody that's watching this later after the live feed and you're new to my channel, somewhere, I think it's the side that the subscribe button is on because you guys are flipped from me. So hit the subscribe button, hit that bell will pop up, hit it, and you'll get notifications when I'm live. Secondarily to liking my videos. And if you're super happy and excited about watching my videos, share them. That gets the numbers out so that maybe I'll get more subscribers as well because, I got a big number to get up there. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Good night. Yeah, good night. Good night, everyone.